I say hello to all of you, those who are present and those who cannot be present, because you also are present in our hearts. And I want to express my gratitude that we were allowed to do this journey together, which you might have experienced in different ways, but to me, at least, it was so meaningful and beautiful to do this journey with you. And the invitation now is that you go into your groups and then you take time, a little bit more than usual, maybe 25 minutes, to just collect and gather what kind of experiences did we make during the last week as the culmination of the course, and what did the whole course bring to us. And if you manage to condense it to a few thoughts, to a little picture, to a flower, which you could present afterwards to the community, to our celebration festival afterwards. Yeah, that would be great. And it shouldn't be long, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, because we have several groups. Because then afterwards, I would like to make a short final picture and do again, a sort of Eurythmy gift with you, something I just suddenly thought during the week. This actually expresses what we are doing, what we are busy with. And after this, you can go back into your groups again. But this then would be just hugging each other, saying goodbye to each other, maybe arranging dates where you meet again, or if you want to continue in one way or the other, I will tell you more about it afterwards. So the main conclusion for you of this course is the first meeting. In the first meeting, when you just look back to the course, what did we do before we had this, last week where we just started relaxing, started letting things happen by themselves. We in a way walked through our being by, in the last module, studying astonishment, hoping that the overstimulation or discovering, which easily can overwhelm us, if we meet the world, if we practice astonishment in specific moments, we practice meeting the essential in a way. That's what makes us astonished. And that this maybe starts, bringing order into our impressions also in everyday life. Before this, we reached the realm of the conscience. What is right? What is wrong? What does my inner voice want me to do? What do I do just out of tradition? And also observe it in others. And there, when there's astonishment, we work with U, and here the Au was our leader. And the I before was our leader towards the realm of compassion. How do we connect through our fine sensitivity with the needs around us? How do we feel this oneness in a way that it's not just pulling us, we are not throwing things on top of something, but that it's still what is adequate, what is enriching both sides. And there we had the L, and before the L, we had the D, and with the I, the V. What's approaching me? This tender gesture was there. And before this, we had different kind of set of exercises. The E, setting boundaries, combined with the S, just how do we deal with our emotions and with the emotions confronting us? Before this, we remember this getting lost in the many, many possibilities, thanks to our rich inner life. Yeah, we discovered that with thinking in reverse order, we connect with something behind us, and we even used it. This behind us, which we do not just shut ourselves off, but actually what's behind us creates this protective gesture, and the E in it was growing. Before this, we were observing the change between rest and activity. And why did we do this? Who is bringing this change about? When do I change from a rest into becoming active and the other way around? This was what makes us inner movement. And we needed it in a way to discover that our perfectionism actually is a perception of the possibility of harmony, yeah? The need for harmony, which can just become too hard, yeah? And then it's offensive. But when you develop this, a certain gentleness in it, it can be just, yeah, a gift. And we did it with the O, yeah, and with the G gesture, where we try to bring our inner elasticity in, and our inner, we look into ourselves. And the very first element we were touching was what we touched with the R. I can open up and let things come in. Yeah, I open up, let things come in, but what comes in should not overwhelm me, but should come in such a way so I make the cake as small as necessary, that it's nourishment which creates ground in me, which allows me, yeah, to develop a digestive system for sense impressions, out of which I can then develop my lightness. And we dared to start with the C gesture, yeah, which then in the very first module was a challenge. Huh? We work on high sensitivity, and I'm invited already to connect to my lightness. But I think at the end of the course, you will notice that this inner lightness is also inner space, which can carry us. Yeah. So that's how, in a way, what we did starts again connecting. And maybe you have your own ways of looking back to the course, and especially to what it brought to you. And now I invite you to share on this. And yeah, one of you maybe can then just volunteer to bring your gift to the group.
Am I going, Muling? Okay. So we came to some jewels, and Catherine had spoke to, I think even a couple weeks ago, every week a jewel that keeps bringing me forward. Another aspect is enlarging the context, that finding our sensitivity in a larger context through this work of the HSP helped to bring acceptance. We don't have to rush. We found great gentleness in the way Theodore brought forward the concepts, particularly landing on last week's motto, that you may. Some of us took that as a real meditation, instead of you must, but you may, inviting into the exercises, but also you may be as you are. And finding the pathway forward through that, rather than trying to fix oneself, which has a harsher, less evolving mood to it. And lastly, what really came out of this meeting was the voice of the other, finding our voice through the voice of the other was the real gift out of the work together. And lastly, we're just so grateful.
Thank you so much, dear group, dear Irene, for sharing. Deepti, Aphrodite, Rachel, Nisha, Laura, someone from your group would volunteer to say something.
I can share.
There's somebody with their
Yeah.
hand up. Natalia? Sorry.
Yo, but we go this order now.
Oh,
Yeah, thanks for maybe. Yeah, Aphrodite, hello.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, so I kind of wrote down my thoughts, my reflections from these whole 8 weeks, 9 weeks that we've been having this course. And yeah, basically, I wrote discovering that high sensitivity or highly sensitive person is a real trait, and that others share similar experience was a powerful revelation. For much of my life, I felt isolated by my heightened emotions and perceptions, but learning that this is a natural part of who I am was validating and freeing. Basically, seeing that there's other people like that, and I wasn't familiar with the concept before, like of highly sensitive person, and yeah, that was just felt good. It felt validating to kind of see what's like the components, the themes that we worked on, what affects the highly sensitive process, and yeah, how we can grow it in a healthy, in a beneficial way for ourselves. And as I explored the components of highly sensitive person, I began to understand how to express my sensitivity without becoming overwhelmed. It's about protecting myself from overstimulation while approaching myself with kindness and patience. And I also learned the importance of setting boundaries and allowing myself time to recharge. And yeah, I think these two things mostly kind of stuck with me, like throughout this weeks, like these topics, and the boundary setting, which I've had kind of problem with before, and then allowing myself to kind of recharge, especially this one exercise. I forgot the name, but we were like stepping, like, and kind of feeling as if like we go down, but then after that this allowed us to have this impulse to go up again, to take the next step, and then again down and up, with the steps. And yeah, that basically kind of, at that moment when I was doing that, I realized, that yeah, I was afraid to let myself go, down, and let myself to feel that it's okay, to kind of have these times where we just need to, it's okay to be down and to recharge and like give ourselves time for that. And yeah, and the exercises deepened my understanding of these concepts on an energetic, physical, emotional, etheric level. For instance, letting go that I mentioned, and the letting go exercise taught me how to release tension and give myself permission to rest. This helped me see that my sensitivity is a strength to to nurture, not a burden to manage. Overall, I now feel more, I would say, confident in embracing my sensitivity and integrating it into my life in a balanced and compassionate way. I think like the biggest thing that I took from this course is like, even when you, Theodore, the way you kind of described everything, it was like this feeling of, you know, kindness, like reminding ourselves to be kind within this whole process, you know, even if we have difficulty somewhere, then still, you know, this feeling of it's okay, you know, it's okay. And, you know, the patience, to give ourselves patience within this process.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aphrodite. I mean, from what you say, what you have learned, what we have learned, it still needs to stay patient, because as soon as you have learned something, it will again be challenged, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just be patient and don't have perfect. You know it's possible. And when you don't manage, then it's also okay. Yeah, I think, yeah, but we have touched these things. Thanks so much for sharing, Aphrodite.
Thank you.
And from, yeah, Sasha, Punchika, Liz Maya's group, anyone who wants to share something.
So I can share. So we went through these weeks. We noticed that these topics you brought up, they were kind of as they were coming as the challenges in this week, or was it just our awareness was more turned toward that what we brought up, or it really felt quite often that that challenges became stronger in the weeks when we had this task to observe. Otherwise, maybe at the end we were not so we didn't list all the benefits and everything, but as like the end sensation or attitude toward is that it's really this allowing to be or to take and to make so as much as we sense that it has, that we are able or that we want to, which brought less critique to ourselves, to what we to that maybe it's okay what we do, because maybe before, even if we were not able to, we then we criticized ourselves, and yeah, which also brought this allowing to rest, to feel more, to react differently, and yeah, so like a general sense of openness and allowing. Yeah, this, I think that's the general. This is from our group, not much, but a little bit.
It's a lot, Mattia. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thanks. And Marci, Debra, Yvonne, Anke, Raphael, Nisha, anyone would like to bring something?
Nisha, is it okay if you, or would you like to bring up the summary or comments?
Are you volunteering me, Raphael? Or did you want to say something?
I
You're volunteering me. Well, we could do
I
it together.
kinda am.
I won't remember
I'm
all of
asking
it.
if you will.
I'm happy to do a little bit, but what do you remember? Anke shared first. What did Anke share?
Yes, well, Anke joined the course, and she couldn't be all the time because of health conditions. Same as Yvonne. another person in our group. And but she was still there. Yeah, we couldn't see her all the time because she was so tired, but she would still connect and come in to the rooms, sometimes with her camera off. But today she remarked the importance of the work we've been doing. Yeah, she thanked the whole process, because of, with this HSP, a little bit what Aphrodite said, she was able to kind of rename herself, yeah, as a highly sensitive person, yeah. Before she would evolve, and I think many of us have thought of ourselves like this, but you feel there's something different in you, and suddenly comes this course or this view with a lot of openness and acceptance and also curiosity into these different ways of sensitivity. And now she can kind of accept her being different in a new way. That's what Anke shared with us. And yeah, then very personal stories, right, Nisha? We
Yes,
each of one
from
said
Deborah.
something very personal with family relationships and everything. But what I could see was how the I being stands through each one of those stories and through those challenges. And maybe eurythmy practice strengthens or supports or enlivens or dynamizes the activity of the I being. Yeah. And today, as we summarize, there's suddenly a clear picture of who's going through all those challenges, because today it's about challenges a little bit in our group. Yeah.
I would agree. Certainly, the challenge is to trust the relationships around us. So Deborah spoke about her mother and how there's this new recognition of leaving her free, and to see how far that relationship has come and transformed, but through that eurythmy process of a sense of where am I in this, my I beingness, and where is the one who is the mother figure? And in this case, it's a literal mother figure. But again, that I am the periphery, or the center and the periphery, and we're working with polarities, so that relationship is very, very strong. That came up in our conversations. Yeah, that was one thing for Deborah, for mother. For me, it was again the role of the work organization as a vessel, and then my I beingness and how I'm moving house, because I live in my work atmosphere. So this recognition that through the last few weeks and months, there's this separation of the group vessel as a work organization, but also where I sleep, not healthy. So I am now exiting, which is affecting my freedom. So this has come out of the process, that decision to exit and be more individual, to navigate the rhythms. And then Raphael had an amazing question about the senses. Did you want to say something about that and being highly sensitive? And your child as well.
Yeah, well, there's much to say, but just this about if we are highly sensitive as from birth and in an organic way, right? Or I came to realize how fragile our whole communities. We all are very fragile at some point, right? In some aspect. And that, I think eurythmy has the ability to take care, good care, yeah, to renew, to give forces back again, and to yeah, take care of that fragility, which is high sensitivity. Yeah.
That's very nicely put, Raphael, that being human means being fragile, huh? And that you can take care of it, but you don't have to, yeah, force it into something. Thanks for sharing, Raphael and Nisha. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you that I can say it. For me, it is the first time like talking in the circle. I will try to say what I think. When I was invited in my group, we have 4 close friends. We know one another for many years, and when Anastasia invited us for this course for highly sensitive people, my heart reacted very much, and it is very interesting that high sensitivity is like in the center, that those people are seen. And in my life, probably because of my highly sensitivity, I had a feeling that a definite part of my heart was closed. It or was blocked. It wasn't working because I couldn't understand how to use my sensitivity. Some part of myself wasn't active, and maybe it wanted to be active. And this course, it gave me the opportunity, step by step, very, very slowly, to come to the heart. And when we could open ourselves from our heart and feel our fingertips, this love flowing into our limbs, I felt that I can feel myself within myself as a wholesome being, as a wholesome human. And it is really very, very valuable. And my inner thankfulness for that. And my personal situation was a big tragedy. After my heart was open, I got into a clinic and was operated. Probably my heart, it was too much for it. And a lot of doctors, all the doctors, they said that normally people don't survive after that, because the trombe went through my heart into the lung, and normally people die within several minutes, but I survived, and it was really a miracle. And I participated from the clinic. And last time I couldn't walk more than 200 meters without being difficult for me to breathe. And when we did L last time, I felt bad during the meeting, during the class. I had fear to do it, as if I was going into death, into depth and into death. But then I went out into life. And the next day after doing L, I could walk for more than 1 kilometer. And now during this week, I could really walk a lot, and I can breathe well. And I'm very, very thankful that this period I managed to overcome death to life. I can say it like that. Thank you, Theodor, that you led us on the way and helped to me and my group, because our group are a lot of my friends who were concerned about me, and now we can come together and enjoy that we are still there and can be joyful that I'm alive. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yo. Thank you, Liana. Yeah, such a story. Yeah, and then fear of the L, and afterwards, what is the L doing with me, and what is the community able to carry together? It's great to have you back, huh? To have you here. Thank you. Someone of the group of Alla and Nadia, huh? So Olga, Lydia, or who else would like to talk?
Good evening, everyone. The first, what I want to say, many thanks to all the team of this course. Many thanks for Theodor for the images that supported Eurythmy. Thanks to those images, personally me could experience those sounds in a very, very different way. And also they influenced in a different way as what I experience normally. And also from our group, when we exchanged what we experienced, we could build us the ground and also shape the boundaries and it is easier to communicate with the others due to it. It was also like communication with my own self. And looking back at the course, at the beginning of the course, we began during Michael, Archangel Michael time, and a lot of new things happened in our lives, a lot of transformations. All of us want to continue. We wanted to make this course longer. We want to deepen into each sound more and into every exercise. It was very valuable. And I'm a teacher. I work also with the children with special needs. And this course helped me to understand the children with special needs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natalia. Thank you, everyone, for this bringing together of the journey. And you notice that everyone is on a very special journey, but what Raphael brought, that being human means being fragile, being vulnerable, yeah, being highly sensitive, and that we just learn to care for this, yeah, to bring it into its natural order, yeah, where inner elasticity can take place, where being hurt too easily, that a network, yeah, that things which normally start maybe hurting us, start creating a network, an interweaving quality, which then becomes creative in us. I think that's the idea. And yes, continuing with this course is a good idea. And what I did not discover it, because already Harald Haas, with whom we developed the ABSR courses, said, and how Rudolf Steiner in 1912 actually gave it, because the background is the Eightfold Path, and then he spoke about a certain follow-up of nervousnesses, and then he brought exercises just the other way around for this, and then you noticed both ways are possible. And maybe you know it from when you go for a walk and you enjoy nature, and then you go home and sometimes you take the same path and it can be completely new because you see the tree from the other side, yeah? Or you look for the stone you wanted to take home on your way back, And then where is it? And you have to search for it and you don't find it anymore. And it can be a completely new experience. And maybe you have noticed that in the beginning of today, I went through the exercises, the themes of what we did in reverse order. And one time I did, it was not the HSP course, it was the ABSR course, but it follows the same inner rhythm. And then I was working with this man for 8 weeks, this course in the same sequence as we did. And afterwards, he himself went through the course in reverse order. And he was on a quest. He had to find a job. He didn't know why he's so stuck. And in this second run through in reverse order, suddenly he found a job. He moved to a new place. And he was so happy. Yeah, he was really contacting me how happy he was. So I'm not promising anything. I just say, if you repeat it, you would think it's more boring to start with the exercise we have just done, you know? You would think, okay, I start with the exercise which is 9 weeks ago, but it's much more refreshing when you start with, the astonishment exercise. And already then maybe you experience it already anew, and then you go backwards. Yeah, this might be, that's the surprise I wanted to give you. If you go, repeat it. If you go forward, go backwards. And why continuing, you can imagine we have now walked on a hill, and you have just described what you experienced on this walk and the view you have now. But it's also quite nice to walk down the hill again and not stay overnight up there. So it makes sense to continue, find your own rhythm, find with whom you want to do it, with the group you have just been in, with some people, or complete, or with friends, or for yourself. Also dare to make it longer, that you have a 2-week rhythm, or you say, I change every 3 days, maybe. I've just received a question, can I change it every day? Because the Eightfold Path sometimes, because it's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday idea behind it, you can change it every day. And then I thought, that feels a little bit too much like a system. And as a highly sensitive person, I think you enjoy breathing. So find your way of doing it. And when you described what you got out of this course, for me, it also meant a lot. It was not, because for us, it was not only this 9-10 weeks we were together, but it was actually a 9-month project, because mid-March, the course leaders and our team, we started to prepare for this course. It was not new. We have already run through it a few times. And then we said, come on, let's really work on it. And actually, it's 9 months are over right now, from mid-March to nearly mid-December. So it's a great time. And when you know, and we heard it also when you spoke, you know already something, but when you experience it, it's so different. And I got a lot of trust into what we touch. I'm not just talking about it anymore. I feel it. And this inner space that the HSP course, it's a little bit like such a bent curve, like an S, where we walk through. We go through these first exercises, and then in the middle we change, and then the inner voice theme comes. And now when you go back, in a way, maybe you first touch the inner voice themes, and then somehow you bring them into life. So this richness also started carrying me a lot, and thanks to all of you. And now, if I may, and we heard about the L, I still would like to join a little bit of Eurythmy with you before we just give you the opportunity to meet again and hug each other and say goodbye. Okay, please join for a few minutes. And take the space you feel well in. Feel yourself breathe maybe already now, how do I have to stand? That my heels are not heavy, but that my weight is on the forefoot and my heels are light without me bending forward. And then just use your hands to tell yourself, I take time to arrive at myself. And I practice that. How do I have to listen into myself, that my inner starts rejoicing, reacting, unfolding, and then I take it up and let it just, stream down and let me, myself, grow in it. The breath may react, I make a little step and relax. And we went through a sevenfold structure, and I show you now a sequence Steiner gave to a person which was in need for support, which has an existential health crisis behind it, and had to try to come out of it. And he gave 7 sounds, and we know all of them by now. And it's just the order which is so meaningful. And it starts with O. So bring your hands in front of the heart, and with the forces of your heart, create the O. It brings your arms forward, brings them around, and let the energy flow across through the arms until they come back to your chest, and the O unfolds. And then just let go, and the hands come back to where you stayed, where you are. And when you do it again, you notice the O brings you forward. You connect with the word. Oh, I love you. I feel you. And then come back. The second sound is the E, which you know from module 4, where you have your arms. You cross them, you form the cross, the arms start feeling each other. And they form a gesture, sort of fence, and you are behind it, you are protected. You are on your heels now, quite natural. And when you do these sounds one after the other, you notice the O brings you forward, O. The E brings you back. You're behind, E. But in your energy, in your power, you feel yourself. Because my arms feel themselves, each other. And then continue with the M. You stream forward, into the sphere of the O where you have been. And then you turn your hands and you come back to the sphere of the E, which you have just had. So the M somehow is you connect those contradictive gestures in a way. The O and the M. You stream there. And you stream there through life. You connect them. M, where the O was, and M, where the E was. And now continue with the L. This is now the sound number 4, the middle of the 7-fold sequence I just showed you. And the L just embraces lovingly the sphere below, brings it to the heart, transforms it, let it become light, colorful, and unfold. And then it comes back and it again transforms into the sphere below. And the O again brings you forward. The O which just is there. Then you come to your heart. And this blossoming up is like an art gesture which brings you a little bit back again. And when you do it again, you might notice it's like a little bit like changing between two worlds. This world and that world. And just feel the world you are in now. Wow. And now I would like to teach you a little bit of German, but just with 3 sounds. And the 3 sounds are E, B, and D. We know all of them. So just do the E from the heart. Go down. And by going down, it lifts the other arm. It stretches you. And you become straighter and straighter just by rooting yourself down. Let go a little bit. And continue with the B gesture. The arms come in. Create a shelter. You feel well in this protection. And in this feeling well, you start growing and developing energy. And the day we do in such a way that we just unfold a little bit, come to our center, and then stream inwardly, downwards, until we somehow land on an inner plane with the feeling, yes, here I can rest, here I can find an elastic ground I can stand on my inner feet. Let's do it again. The E, rooting yourself, go down, letting go, becoming wide. B, letting go and streaming down inwardly and arriving. D. You remember? We did the D by pointing outwards, D, but it was arriving here, D. And that strongly we arrive. Here is the D. Okay, and the German words which go so easily with I, B, D are Ich bin da. And that means, translated, I am here. I am there. Yeah, so when we do the IBD, you can inwardly think the meaning of I am there, but we experience the sound of Ich, the silent sound, the I, the bin, the litter bin, yeah, the rubbish bin, my body, yeah, and the seed I take in this bin. Let's try once. Ich bin da. If you want to accompany it with your legs, which is meaningful, then for the E, we stand small. For the B, a little bit broader, like a trunk. Yeah, like this, like a trunk. Wash, yeah, a tree trunk. And then again, a little bit broader, like a stable sort of triangle, yeah, which is, yeah, safe on the earth. Ich, little step, bin, little step, da. And up to now, it was just learning the sequence, but I invite you, when you do it now, that you have the feeling you do this Ich bin da in the sphere which comes about through the L. So experience the change and then experience what you say. O-E-M, L, ich bin da. From the heart. Oh. Oh. E. Behind. M. Flow between both. M. M. L. Transformation of this sphere. Into that sphere. Feel it. And you stay in this sphere when you do. Ich bin da. Let go. Breathe. And slowly move to the place you want to sit. And take along with you what we have just been doing. Listen to the resonance. What mood do you meet now in your body? What colors? What kind of spaces? What forms? What vibrations? How to experience your uprightness? Who is caring for it? When you listen into your inner, what attitude towards life do you meet there now? And when you listen to what is around your body, in the sphere around your body, what do you feel there? What is spoken to you now? Just relax, breathe. And be. We have arrived. I am here. Ich bin da. With these words, I would like to say thank you to all of you who joined us in this journey. Those of you who were with us from September 29, those of you who were with us from March, mid-March, those of you who have already done many courses with us, helping us to build the system, and Monica and Anastasia, Ilse, Aratas for creating the content of this course. I wish you all a great time, good experiences, and a lot of trust in meeting all challenges we always meet in us and around us. I wish you all the best and a joy when you go back into your groups now. Say goodbye to each other. Arrange how you want to meet again. And you know, on Eurythmy4you, you always find material you can work with, and we will keep you informed when we bring new opportunities to join us in new endeavors.